Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. My husband is not here again. He is at work because today is Friday and then he gets the weekend off. Today, y'all, if y'all can tell by the title, I am doing a what to expect when you're expecting video. Okay, we're gonna get right into it. But first, look at my hair. Do y'all like it? So this is another one. I just turned the twisties to French braids. That's all. And then see, so as you can see, it's showing my length a little more. You see what I mean? So let me let y'all see the back. So can you see it? Okay. So yeah, I like it. Yeah, I think it's really cute. So anyway, that's not what we finna talk about today. Let's get straight into the video. What to expect when you're expecting. Anything you want to say? Huh? No? Yeah, this little girl is never asleep, y'all. Look at her face. She look tired. Okay. So, one that I did not write down. See, I have the list again. One thing I did not write down that I'm going to start off with so I don't forget is when you have a baby. Sometimes, like, I know I breastfeed. She's 6 months. I still breastfeed. I'm going to be done when she's 1. So, she don't poop a lot. And I was concerned about that at first. And I told her doctor. But then her doctor said it's normal for breastfed babies to not poop as often. So, but when she do poop, it's like a huge poop. So sometimes they get on the back of her shirt and all those things. So make sure you have a bunch of different varieties of tank tops. Make sure you have a lot of tank tops. They need those. They need a bunch of, like, if you put them in sleepers on top of their tank tops and stuff, they need those. She did used to wear a sleeper, but now that it's hot, she just wear a tank top sometimes, nothing. So yeah, so make sure you have a lot of those if you breastfeed the baby, or even if you don't, make sure you have a lot because they run through those. They spit up on them. When they poop and they get outside, they diaper, all type of stuff. But sometimes you could catch it, which that's what I've been doing as I'm getting better and better at being a mother. I do catch it pretty good. I catch it pretty quick now, which she just had one before we started this video and I caught it so it didn't get on her tank top. So yeah, and then also another one, number 2, is when you wipe them, which I talked about in my last video. When you wipe them, make sure you don't wipe them too hard. That could cause a rash, or even if they do have a rash, you get this it's a little thing I showed it in my last video. If you want to see it, you can find like a really little container. You put a baby towel up in the container, and then when you wipe them, you can, wherever the rash is at, you don't use a baby wipe. You just use that little the baby towel, and you wipe them where the rash is at, and then you put a little cocoa butter Vaseline, which I showed you in my last video. And so if you guys did not watch my last video, just pause this and go watch it, help, and then come back. Okay? So then I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. So put a little cocoa butter Vaseline on them, and then it should clear it up. Do not be using that rash cream that the doctors be talking about. It's expensive. It's more expensive than what I'm talking about, which is just some water, a baby towel, which you should already have in your house. You're gonna already have water. Baby towels you should already have. And then cocoa butter Vaseline, which is not expensive at all. It's like $1 or $2 or something. But that cream be like $6, $9. It'd be too much for some cream. So, and it'd be little bitty tubes. Or it'd be those, like, they be kind of big tubes. But I just feel like it's too expensive for those. And so, yeah, it cleared up in like 2 days. I always use it on her when she get a rash. It works wonders. She don't cry. Like, usually if she had a rash, she would cry. When I first had her, which was like when she was like 2 months, when I first had her. When I first had her, she wasn't 2 months, but like 2 months later, when she was 2 months, she will get a rash. And when she got a rash, I was so sad for her because she'd be crying and stuff, and I didn't know what to do. And so only thing I had to do was grab the water and stuff, cleared it up in 2 days. She didn't cry when I wiped her. So yeah. 3, they throw up a lot, which is what I was just talking about. They throw up a lot. It's nothing you could do. I have changed her bottles. It's these Dr. Brown bottles that people talk about. I haven't tried those, but it's like even when I breastfeed her from my boob, she throw up. And so it's like I feel like she's gonna throw up regardless. So yeah, make sure you have a lot of different burp cloths. Like me, I have a lot of burp cloths. These are one of them right here. I have a lot of tank tops because she throw up a lot, and I have a lot of bibs because she throw up a lot. And then that way, you know, you can always keep her clean and keep them in some clean clothes, because they can break out on their skin if you don't if you don't keep them in the clean clothes and you got like wet spots all over their tank top from them throwing up too much. Like I think she threw up in this like one time, right babe? And I ain't changed it yet, but she's fine. But if she keep throwing up in it, it's like becomes bad for their skin. So make sure you change them, keep them clean. Yeah, also make sure you have a lot of sheets, a lot of blankets. Me, I used to keep sheets over my old couch that I used to have at my old house, which I do have a house tour coming up next. So make sure you stay tuned in. Come back for the next video. I have new couches. I don't have the old ones, so I do not use sheets no more, but I did used to, and I used to change them like 3 times a week. And I'm so happy that I did have that couch to start off with, because that's when she was throwing up the most. Now it's kind of slowing down as she get older. So I did used to change those like a lot. And then also like the bed sheets, I used to change them constantly because she used to throw up so much. I would only let her throw up in the bed like in 3 different spots or 2 different spots before I change them. And then on the couch, I was changing those like every other day, because I feel like if you have company and they come over, it's nasty having that spot there. And so I would change those like a lot. So yeah, just make sure you have a lot of sheets and stuff. Me, I always have had a lot of sheets even before I had her. So like that was nothing that I had to add to my list or anything. But I know some people only be having like 2 sheets or 2 sets for themselves. So and make sure you have a little bit more, because sometimes they could throw up and then poop in the other one while you're changing a diaper, or sometimes they could throw up and then throw up a lot in that other one before you get to wash the first one. So just make sure you have at least about 4 sheet sets. To the crying, well, not 2, this is probably like number 4, but I was reading it off of here. The crying, she cries, they will cry regardless of what you do. Sometimes it's just nothing you can do. I know before I had a baby, I was like, I used to watch people with their kids, and I used to be like, dang, make the baby stop crying. You just don't care about them. Like, why you just letting them cry? Or I'd be like, why are they crying? You know, like, are you not feeding them? Are you not doing this? Are you not doing that? I used to just be so upset when I used to see babies cry, y'all. And now, like, I really understand. It's like, no matter what you do, like, I done been and fed her, changed her, gave her a bath, everything, let her take a nap, everything, and she would still cry. Sometimes they just gonna cry. I don't really know why they do that, but sometimes they gonna cry. And sometimes it's okay for them to cry. I try to keep her calm as much as possible, but sometimes it happens. Also, because she's teething as well, so she do cry when she's teething. And so that's another reason why she cry a lot, because she be teething. It's like no matter what you do, you can give her teething toys, you could give them teething medicine, you could get them stuff to suck on. It helps for a little bit, but it's not gonna help for long. Sometimes they just gonna cry. There's nothing you could do about that. I think it's dying out already. Another thing, I'm just gonna turn it off anyway. Okay, they shooting fireworks, y'all probably hear that. But another thing, so yeah, they gonna cry, you guys. It's okay for them to cry. Sometimes I try to let her cry because she's so spoiled and attached to me, so I try to set her down. She do cry, and then it's like I can't help but to pick her up, because I don't like her crying for too long. So she's very, very spoiled. And that's another thing. Try not to spoil them as much. Try to put them down, they sleeping. That's things I didn't do because it was my first baby, and I was just so happy. And I'm just so in love with her. So I would like hold her while she's sleeping and stuff. So now she like so spoiled and attached. And so now I can't put her down as much. Labor. They will make you sign papers while you're in pain. That's another thing to expect. Like when you in labor, they make you sign papers, like, and it's just crazy, especially if you want an epidural. They will make you sign these papers, and it's like you're not even focused on trying to read the papers. So just try to read it as best you can, because like you be in so much pain that you're not even trying to read it. You just do and then give it to them, and they could be saying, if I kill you, it's not our fault. You can't sue. So just try to make sure you read stuff. They do make you sign a nice amount of papers. I don't really remember how many papers I had signed, but I know it was some, and plus I had the epidural. And then also, they come in your room a lot. That's another thing. You have to be, like, you just have to be prepared for these things, because it will get annoying. They will be switching off a lot of nurses switching off on their shift, a lot of the different nurses coming in, they taking over. The nurse will repeat it to them of what's going on and where you at, but then they still will ask you questions. They still will go over everything with you while you in pain, and you just like like, leave me alone. And they still will keep talking and talking, so that get annoying. So just be prepared for that, especially if it's your first child. Even after birth, they come in the room a lot. Even while you're trying to sleep, it's like you really don't get rest at the hospital. I know, like for me at my hospital, they at nighttime they did let me try to sleep as much as I can. They did have to come in and check our temperature and like things like that. And so sometimes they had to come in, but for the most part they will try to let me sleep. But I wasn't sleeping anyway, because I didn't want them taking my baby, putting her in this hard box thing that was in the room. I forget what you call it. And so I was very scared about that. And so, because I felt like it was hard. So I would try to sleep while they're not in the room. And if I see them coming, then I'll try to hurry up and wake up so they don't take her out of my arms, because it was against the rules to sleep with her in the bed, because she could suffocate, roll out the bed, all those things. And then you could sue them. So it was against their policy. So I really didn't sleep anyway. Sometimes it's very hard to get them on a schedule. That's another thing that you guys have to be prepared for, especially if they like all over the place anyway. When you first have them, you just be so tired, and so then when they sleep, you just try to sleep. And that's what I was doing for a very long time. I just did it like that, and I was fine with that up until she was almost 6 months. And then I kind of started feeling like I was sleeping too much during the day and not enough during the night. And you're supposed to be up during the day, especially because it's getting hot, and I wanted to go swimming and all those things, which I'm not doing yet. But I was just thinking about that, and I was like, how am I gonna go swimming if we gonna be asleep during the day? And so now I've been trying to get her on a schedule, and now it's really hard. So try to get them on a very tight, good schedule while they're little. That way it don't be hard when they get older, because now it's hard. She is getting better at it already. It's taking me about 2 weeks. So like right now it's about 9 something. So as you can see, she's going to sleep in my arms. She will wake back up before me and my husband go back to sleep, but I'm gonna give her a bottle, and then when we go to sleep, she gonna go to sleep, and then she pretty much starting to sleep through the night. So I'm happy about that. So I'm not as tired as I was in the last video. See? So, pumping. Make sure you guys are pumping. If you guys are trying to breastfeed the babies, make sure you guys are pumping, because like me, every day, if I don't pump at least once a day, it's like my milk will try to slow down. And I get so scared because she's getting bigger, and I know she's going to need more and more milk. And if I'm not pumping, it's like, it's going to slow down, and then it's going to disappear. So, or it's gonna go away or whatever. So I try to pump at least once a day, and then I try to keep her on the boob the whole day and try to pump once a day. Another thing while we're on that topic, another thing to expect is, I thought that when you start breastfeeding, you get used to the pain, but no, this is a pain that you never gonna get used to, no matter what. So like your whole time while you breastfeeding, sometimes it's gonna hurt when they start sucking, and then it gets like numbed or something after a little bit of them sucking it for a while. So yeah, sometimes it still hurt, and I just be like, oh my God, I'm just so ready to quit. But I'm not gonna quit, because I know this is what's best for her. So watch them very, very closely when they are starting to be active. They will start to roll. They will start to reach for things. You got to really watch them because, you know, like my dad told me, high fall, like her falling off this table, which is like not that high. Is, I'll show you in a toy tomorrow, so just pay attention to that. This table being this high is not that high to me if I fell off of it, but if she fall off of it, that's a big fall and they can hurt themselves really, really bad. So just make sure you're watching them very closely as they start to get active. You will also see in my house tour that my couches are not that high, but she had fell off the couch and it sounded like a big doom. Like it sounded so loud, it was like doom, and it scared the crap out of me. So like again, it don't seem high for us, but for them that is very high, and she have cried from it. She was okay. She didn't have no knots or nothing, but I think it just pretty much scared her. So yeah, you do have to watch them really, really closely as they start to get more active and more aware, more alert. And then the last is they require a lot of attention. Like I think that's why like I got her so attached to me, and why she's so spoiled is because she needed a lot of attention. Like she will always, like when she woke, it's like she just didn't want to just sit there. You know, like if you understand what I'm saying, like she didn't want to just sit there. It's like she always wanted me. Like she always like will fuss or something. So I take her out, play with her, you know, take her around the house, especially when she first started to stay awoke more. And so like I think that's what made her like so stuck to me. And then plus I was holding her while she sleep. But yeah, they do require a lot of attention anyways, but just try not to give them too much to the point where they are spoiled, because it's very hard to give her to my family members or like to even clean up. Like I clean up every single day, and I have to wait till my husband come home, which is at 10:30 at night, because she do not let me clean up. If I try to clean up and set her down, she start crying. If she sleeps, she wakes up and cry. Like it's nothing that I could do. She would not let me clean up. Also, like when I go to my family house, like my mom's house, which I'm going tomorrow, I don't know how she'll act. If I remember, I'll probably let you guys know in the next video how she did. But she don't go to anybody. She cries when anybody hold her, and which I don't like to see her just sit there and cry or scream when I know I could do something about it. So I just grab her, and I just feel like, okay, she'll get used to you when she's ready to get used to you, or she'll be comfortable with you when she's ready to be comfortable with you. So like when she get older, she'll be more okay with you. You know, I don't really want to force her to get used to people. So I just grab her, which I be feeling bad because probably I need to bring her around more, or probably I need to, but yeah, probably I just need to bring her around them more. But I just feel like it'll happen. She'll get used to them eventually. I just don't want to force it on her. So yeah, just make sure you're not, you know, doing too much to where like they're not going to anybody else, you know, because sometimes you're gonna be like, I need to do stuff and you won't leave me alone, or I need to do stuff and you won't relax, you know what I mean? So just try not to do that. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I will be doing a house tour next. I will not be recording during the weekend, so it's just the Monday through Friday thing, because on the weekend I try to spend time with my husband and my baby, with all three of us together, because that's the only time he get off. So I will not be recording on the weekends, only Monday through Friday. And I have started putting like a whole list of videos what I can do. I have 2 more videos right now that I have in mind, but I have to make more video ideas. So yeah, I will be trying to keep up with my YouTube and try to stay consistent. That way we can grow and we can get strong and we can get a lot of people on. We get a lot of people to support me. So yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. If you're not new here and you're just coming back to watch a video, what's up? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time,